As we wrap up our final week in preparation for the holidays, it is time for the fun part. We have done all of the hard work. We have decluttered, we have deep cleaned, we've thought about the menu, we've thought about our guests and the special needs that they might have before they come to our home, and it's time to finally play. But if you're anything like me, sometimes, even though it is the fun stuff, you wait until the very last minute. And waiting until the very last minute, I know when it involves also cooking the meal and getting ready to host the people, it means a lot of extra burden when it doesn't necessarily need to be. So this week, we're talking about implementation week, not cooking week. We're talking about getting your home final steps ready so that when it's time to do the cooking, you are ready to cook, you're ready to host, you're ready to have the conversations with your guests, you're ready to delight in the preparation because you've already done the hard work. Enjoy the last episode of this 5-part series, Getting Your Home Ready for the Holidays. We grew up with the phrase, home is where the heart is, but our culture has shifted and now the message is, home should be Pinterest perfect. I'm calling BS on that message. Home, it's not about the stuff, it's about the story. And whether you know it or not, your home is a reflection of you and is already saying something. So what is it that you want it to say? Hey, I'm Danny, a former first grade teacher turned home decorator. Going from a dual income to a single income so I could stay home with my babies meant budget, like ramen eating, Goodwill shopping budget. And I learned a few things along the way, like how to bring big style to your home without breaking the bank. And I'm sharing it all with you. Tips, tricks, decor, and design advice so you can learn to tell your story with your style, where you can start living free from the Pinterest perfect trap and start living a life of intention. Welcome to Fig and Farm at Home, where we design happy living and where it doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. You have made it to implementation week. Over the past 4 weeks, you have been getting your home ready by decluttering, deep cleaning, thinking about a refresh plan, using the things that you have in your own home, buying a few new things to refresh and spruce it up for your guests, thinking about the menu and any special requirements in order to make your guest feel safe and welcome in your home. And now it's time to implement and maybe even do a dry run or 2. So today we're going to concentrate on 5 last minute things that you need to do or can do in order to prep your home for the holidays. The first one, we need to go back to step 2, back to week 2, and think about our refresh plan because now it's time to put it all together. Whatever you had in that week 2 that you wanted to do to refresh your space, this is the week we're putting it all together. If you had rearranged furniture, this is the week we're doing it. Hanging new curtains, putting out new towels, swapping out new pillows, now is the week to do it. This isn't the week to purchase. That should have happened in week 2. But this is the week to grab the things out of the packages, to fluff them up, to wash and dry the brand new throw blankets, to hang the art or swap out the art. Whatever was in your plan in week 2, now is the time to make it pretty. Why did I save it until the week before the holiday? Because I wanted the newness to still be there. I wanted you to still be excited about the possibility. We did all the hard work in the first 3 weeks, the first 4 weeks, that I wanted this to be a little reward at the end. It also allowed us a chance for any ordering of product to arrive beforehand so that you weren't piecemealing together your space, you were doing it all at one time. So, have fun and play. All right, number 2, preparing your guest spaces. If they are staying the night, now is the time to make their bed. Do a final tidy up of their room. Make sure you have the candle or the diffuser set and ready to go. The Wi-Fi printed out so that it's on display. They don't have to ask you for it. And then if they're using the bathroom that they have solo access to, it's time to get that ready too. A final cleaning, make sure all of the toiletries are stocked. There are extra toiletries in case they need things that they forgot at home. Toothbrushes, toothpaste, shampoo, deodorant, anything new that you might have on hand for their convenience, have those stocked and ready to go. Fresh towels are out, extra blankets, it's nice and guest ready. Now, if they're sharing space, of course, we can't do that right now. I know when my guests come over, they don't have their own bathroom. They have to share with the boys. And if I prepped that even 3 days before, it would not be ready. It would not be ready for the guests. So what I would suggest here is do a final last clean of the tub, do another deep clean of the toilet, do another deep clean of the floor so that in 2 days' time, you can just wipe up and be ready to go. Number 3, this is the final menu preparation. Ordering the food, ordering the groceries, going to the grocery store, making sure you have the snacks on hand, knowing what it is you're going to serve for breakfast or lunch, not just the main menu, but knowing what you're going to have on hand, making sure that you have stocked the special items that your guests might need, like creamer for their coffee or extra baby food for the baby. Having those on hand now will eliminate the last minute rush and the last minute stress. Number 4, this is my very favorite and where we're going to spend the majority of our time today, and that is to think about and be mindful of and practice your table setting. Now, this is assuming that you are having the main meal, the party meal, the holiday meal, not necessarily the breakfasts or the lunches. Those we know that we can be not so fancy about. But when you are spending hours and days and weeks on your preparing the food for this holiday, your table can either look the part or it can fall very flat. And we want your table to look the part. So some of the things I do before I'm getting ready to host is I want to think about all of the servingware that I'm going to need for the items, the specific items I'm going to be serving that day for the holiday meal. I know if I'm going to be serving turkey and mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, pumpkin pie, whatever it is I'm going to be serving, I will literally grab out the servingware and I will make sure that I have a serving platter, a serving spoon, a serving dish, a knife, whatever is required of that item, so that I'm not scrambling and left scrambling in the last minute. Now, because I'm wanting to make a cohesive table setting, I'm wanting to make sure that these items are cohesive or they fit the theme that I'm setting for the tablescape. I'm getting those out and I am literally putting them on the table where I think that they might go. Now, there is an art form to having the food on the table with a beautiful centerscape. There's an art form to it. Because what do we normally want to do? We normally want to just lay things flat. And when we lay a tablecloth and a napkin and a plate, and you have these beautiful food items, they are all very flat. And even though you spent hours preparing this food and it's going to taste delicious, we know because you're a great cook, the display, the tablescape, is going to not be as elevated as the food you just prepared. So you want to be mindful of where you're putting the food and the height variation of how you're arranging the food, if you want it on the same tablescape. If you just want it to be beautiful, you still need to be thinking about where it is you're going to be serving your food and how it is you're going to be serving it. Do you need platters? Do you need bowls? Do you need spoons? What do you need? Get them all out. I even use sticky notes in order to label the item I'm going to be putting in there, and I double check it with my menu items so that I know that I'm ready to go. Anything I don't have, I'm making, of course, a list, because just like anything, there are going to be those last minute errands we have to do, but we're doing it this week before we are doing it right before the holiday. So you are getting ready now, writing down anything that you don't need or that doesn't necessarily look cohesive. If you are not serving your food on the same table that you're making a beautiful tablescape for, you might need to be thinking about where you're going to be serving it. Do you need an extra table, and do you have that extra table? Do you need an extra counter space, and is that counter space ready today? Getting that ready even today, clearing it of the clutter, clearing it of the extra things that are there, is going to save you in the long run. But after that, after you've thought about the food, after you've thought about the platters, I want you to think about the place setting. Do you have enough plates? Dessert plates, salad plates, bowls, silverware, stemware, glasses. Do you have enough of those things for all of the guests that you're going to be welcoming in? What about napkins, napkin holders, chargers, anything that you're going to be using as part of your place setting? Do you have enough, or do you need to modify? Do you need to put it on your list in order to go and grab? Do you need to be creative and think outside of the box? The other thing I want you to think about is seating. We know that we might have one dining room table, but what about the overflow? Do you need to get out and prepare and clean the folding table? Cleaning it now and not saving it until the day of is going to make your day of or day before preparation a lot smoother. Being mindful too of the things that go on the table. Things like tablecloths, runners, cloth napkins. Do those need to be laundered, and do they need to be ironed? Doing that now and getting that done now instead of the day of or 2 days before is going to save you a little bit of burden. Going back to the place setting and going back to the serving ware, anything that needs to be washed, now's the time. Don't save it. Don't save it until your guests are ready. We're going to have that table set before your guests even arrive. But we do want to get those things ready. And now that you have all of your plates, all of your serving ware, all of your tablecloths, everything out, now it is the fun part. Practice creating that beautiful tablescape. Practice putting out the platters as well as the dishes. Practice layering so that you have height variation, different textures. Maybe even think about a theme that you want for your table. Do you have little candles, or maybe you're bringing fresh elements onto your tablescape in order to make it thematic and go with the holiday? Practice it once, check it out, see how you like it, and modify it if you need to. And if the idea of creating a tablescape that looks as beautiful as the foods you've created, if that is a new concept to you and you would like a little help, if you've seen pictures on Pinterest or Instagram and you've thought, this would be so much fun, but I don't even know where to start, or maybe you have started and you've thought, it looks like a bunch of stuff just thrown on the table, but you want it to be a little bit more intentional this year. If that is you and you want time to learn how to create a beautiful tablescape, it's not too late. You can grab my tablescape workshop at bit.ly/Fig and Farm tablescape to learn how to create a beautiful tablescape that looks as beautiful as the food you just spent hours preparing. Okay, and number 5, the final thing, we need to go and make space for grabbing the last minute items. We've already grabbed the shopping, but these are the things that maybe as you were setting out the toiletries in the bathroom, you realized, I don't have extra toothpaste or a toothbrush in case they needed it. Or maybe as you were getting out your tablescape display, you are 3 candles shy. Maybe you realized you don't have enough cloth napkins. Whatever it is that was on your list, now is the time to go and do it. Doing it well before the first guest starts knocking on your door is going to help you feel more prepared and less stressed for the holiday, so that you can ultimately enjoy your guests more without worrying about the little things, because you've already taken care of it. All right, friend, enjoy your holiday, and until next time, I'll see you soon. Hey, real quick before you go, if you learned something new or found value in today's podcast, would you head over to iTunes to Fig and Farm at Home and leave a review and subscribe to the show? That would be awesome. And if you'd like to connect with my community of mamas who are learning to be intentional storytellers within their own homes, join us at bit.ly/design101 group. There's always more room at the table. See you soon.